This ought to tide you over. Why have I surfaced? By ebb and flow, I'll make it so. Enable my revenge. Our alliance binds me. By ebb and flow, this ought to tide you over. By ebb and flow, I'll make it so. Our alliance binds me. This ought to tide you over. Spare the pleasantry. Round them all. Our alliance binds me. Spare. I'll make it so. By ebb and flow. This ought to tide you over. By ebb and flow. This ought to tide you over. Born scum. I'll make it so. Our alliance binds me. I'll make it so. Our alliance binds me. By ebb and
Our
flow.
allies' town is gone.
Round them all. I'll make it so. By ebb and flow. Why have I surfaced? I'll make it so. This ought to tide you over. Our alliance binds me. I'll make it so. Our alliance binds me. I'll make it so. This ought to tide you over. I'll make it so. This ought to tide you over. I'll make it so. Alliance binds me. I'll make it so. By ebb and flow. Spare the pleasantries. Our alliance binds me. This ought to tide you over. Our alliance binds me. By ebb and flow. I'll make it so. Our alliance binds me. I'll make it so.
First blood.
Why have I surfaced?
Our allies' town is gone.
By ebb and flow. Our alliance binds me. This ought to tide you over. Land-born scum. Round them all. Aid us
Our
in our
allies' town
plight.
needs help.
Spare the pleasantries. By ebb and flow. This ought to tide you over. I'll make it so. By ebb and flow. I'll make it so. Aid us in our plight. Spare the pleasantries. This ought to tide you over. I'll make it so. This ought to tide you over. Our alliance binds me. This ought to tide you over. Convince me. By ebb and flow. I'll make it so. Our alliance binds me. Aid us in our plight. Make that again. This ought to tide you over. I'll make it so. Our alliance binds me. I'll make it so. Our alliance binds me. By ebb and flow. Our alliance binds me. Convince me. By ebb and flow. This ought to tide you over. Spare the pleasantries. Our alliance binds me. By ebb and flow. This ought to tide you over. By ebb and flow. I'll make it so. Our alliance binds me. By ebb and flow.
Our allies' town is gone.
I'll make it so. Alliance binds me. This ought to tide you over. I'll make it so. By ebb
Our
and
allies'
flow.
town needs help.
This ought to tide you over. Our alliance binds me. This ought to tide you over. I'll make it so. Our alliance
Allies' town
binds me.
needs help.
By ebb and flow. binds me. This ought to tide you over. I'll make it so. Aid us in our light. Convince me. This ought to tide you over. I'll make it so. Our alliance binds me. Aid us in our light. Landborn scum. Spare the pleasant dream. Convince me. Enable my revenge. I'll make it so. Spare the pleasant dream. Life binds me. I ebb and flow. I am so.
Our allies' town needs help.
Convince me. Enable my revenge. Spare the pleasantries. Make it so.
Our allies' town needs
Aid
help.
us in our plight. I am thy servant. I ebb and flow. I'll make it so. Our alliance binds me. I ebb and flow. I'll make it so. This ought to tide you over. Landborn scum. alliance binds me. Fangs dead. Backbone scoundrel. I'll make it so. Enable my revenge. They sought to tide you over.
Our allies' town needs help.
I'll make it so. By then, flow. I'll make it so. They sought to tide you over.
Our allies' town needs help.
I'll make it so. Aid us in our plight. Why have I surfaced? Enable my revenge.
Killing spree. Own fresh meat.
I sought to tide you over. Our alliance binds me. They sought to tide you over. I ebb and flow. Our alliance binds me. I'll make it so. Why have I surfaced? Enable my revenge. Our alliance binds me. They sought to tide you over. By ebb and flow. They sought to tide you over. By ebb and flow. I'll make it so. They sought to tide you over. I'll make it so. They sought to tide you over. I'll make it so. Alliance binds me. Scourge meat. I'll make it so. By ebb and flow. Alliance binds me. I'll make it so. Alliance binds me. I'll make it so. It's up to tide you over. Convince me. Dominating.
Own
By ebb and flow. Aid us in our plight. Enable my revenge. Alliance binds me. By ebb and flow. Our alliance binds me. I'll make it so. By ebb and flow. Why have I surfaced? Convince me. Aid us in our plight. Our alliance binds me. Convince me. I'll make it so.
Our allies' town needs help.
Aid us in our plight. By ebb and flow. Our alliance binds me. I'll make it so. By ebb and flow. Our alliance binds me. I'll make it so. They sought to tide you over. Convince me.
Our
They
allies'
sought
town
to
needs help.
tide you over. Our alliance binds me. Enable my revenge.
Our allies' town needs help.
Peasantry. By ebb and flow. Enable my revenge. Why have I surfaced? I'll make it so. Enable my revenge. They sought to tide you over. I'll make it so. By ebb and flow. Our alliance binds me. By ebb and flow. I'll make it so. They sought to tide you over. Aid us in our plight. Enable my by ebb and flow. so. Aid us in our plight. This ought to tide you over. Enable my revenge. I am our service. Our alliance by ebb and flow. I'll make it so. This ought to tide you over. I'll make it so. This ought to tide you over. By ebb and flow. I'll make it so. Mighty power. And golden scum. Our alliance binds me. By ebb and flow. I'll make it so. Convince me. I'll make it so. This ought to tide you over. Our alliance binds me. This ought to tide you over. I'll make it so. Our alliance binds me. This ought to tide you over. By ebb and flow. Aid us in our plight. I'll make it so. Convince me. By ebb and flow. Enable my revenge. Spare the present. I am our service. Our alliance binds By ebb and flow, enable my revenge. So, alliance binds me, and born scum. Man's dead. So, alliance binds me, by ebb and flow. This ought to tide you over. Spare the pleasantries. By ebb and flow, this ought to tide you. Have I service? I'll make it so. Our alliance binds me. Aid us in our plight. Convince me. This ought to tide you over. Spare the pleasantries. Our alliance binds me. This ought to
Fresh meat. Kill it.